Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am one half Anthony Carboni, and to my right is the other half, Justin Vilche. It's been almost 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks. 2 weeks since we last dropped. But we predicted and previewed the Four Nations before the game that Wednesday between Canada and Sweden. Had a little bit of a lot of work going on. A lot of just got onto my reading week now. Justin's got a lot of work going on. So, but we're back and we are ready to discuss what has happened since then. The Leafs are looking really good. Canada, champions, as we all predicted. Ovi doing extremely well, 12 goals away. We're going to discuss that. Canadians looking pretty decent, maybe getting back into the playoff run, my team. The Penguins, how much of a disaster they have been and how they played last night is clearly showing that. And the Oilers and just maybe stuff about the wildcard race. But let's say what's up to the boy Justin. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. Everything's hype, hype for this Saturday.
Because let's tell everybody, let's tell the people this Saturday, Justin, myself, and a couple other buddies are going to watch WWE Elimination Chamber live at Rogers Center. Holy shit. We spent a good amount of money on tickets. We are going to be sitting in the 100 section, but we are excited. The Rock is going to be there. John Cena is going to be there. Cody Rhodes is going to be there. CM Punk's going to be there. Seth Rollins is going to be there. Drew McIntyre is going to be there. Massive roster. Massive roster going to this event. So we are hyped for that. I just finished talking with Justin off camera that our soccer team is back once again from last year. We mentioned it a couple times on the podcast, but we are back. Carboni Stallions is back. We will be back playing soccer this summer. So we have a lot of exciting stuff. What's that?
Gotta reclaim the throne, bro. We gotta come back with vengeance, bro. Reclaim the throne, bro. After last year,
right there. The trophy's right there from 2 years ago.
Okay. The team got lucky ass win, bro. I'm telling you, bro. We come back different, bro. Undefeated season, bro. Stop playing with us.
Two-time champs in 3 years. That's what we're gonna go for. But enough about that. Let's get into the podcast. Let's talk about Four Nations. Where we left off, we had our predictions. We had Canada winning the whole thing, and both of us having Crosby MVP. Since then, Canada plays Sweden. First game of the Four Nations. Massive crowd. It was unbelievable. Nobody expected it to be as big as it was. Canada gets the win in overtime, 4-3. Mitch Marner magic. It was a very good, entertaining game to watch. Then the following night, the USA play Team Finland, where we pretty much predicted that first game of US just smacking Finland around, and they did. It was like 6-1. Yeah.
Close for the first 2 periods, and then kind of just like
that defense, like we talked about, the defense on Finland is just too weak.
Yeah.
And then we
yeah.
Oh, continue.
Oh, like just what we talked about, like that Finland team, like they were mediocre, like they were mid. They were simply just mid, right? And like that defense was really their weakest point, and you could see in the first game, like they held their ground for 40 minutes, but you could tell like the USA were kind of figuring them out as the game went on, and third period hit, and it was just like bang, 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 and I was like, wow, okay.
Like that team is not to be messed with. And then the next game was the two rival games. We had Sweden play Finland in a very close game where Finland took the overtime win, and then it was down to the main event Saturday night, game 2 of the Four Nations between Canada and the United States, and the building went nuts. Canadian fans booing the American national anthem as we predicted. 3 fights in 9 seconds. Both Kachuk brothers just dropping the gloves. Unbelievable. Hagel. Who else fought? Was it Sorelli? Was it no? It was Bennett. Bennett fought Matthew. Bennett fought Brady. Hagel fought Matthew, and Pareko fought JT Miller. So there were 3 fights in 9 seconds of play. It was a very, very good game. The Bell Center was rocking. Yeah. Out of their seats. It was unbelievable. U.S. ended up winning that game 3-1 off some shitty goals led in by Binnington, which would then set up Canada needing to win against Finland the following Monday to get the win and go play the U.S. in the final, as the U.S. won 2 in a row, meaning in regulation, meaning they clinched a spot. Canada take care of Finland in pretty easy fashion up until the last minute of the game, where it was 4-1, and all of a sudden Finland decided to score 2 goals in like less than a couple minutes.
Again, Granlund. It was like, bro, you don't want an empty net. And we're thinking, okay, game's done. It was 4-1 with like 2 minutes to go, and then I think it was like Granlund who just snipes it both times in like a span of like 8 seconds out of nowhere. And I was like, bro, are you serious, bro? It's 4-3, and then face off happens. Finland pulls the goalie, and then Crosby bodies someone, I forget who, off the puck at center ice, shoots it into the empty cage, and that pretty much sealed the fate. And you kind of had the rematch there because later on, the Sweden USA game didn't matter at all because Sweden weren't going to make the final anyway, even if they won, which they eventually did.
So US ended up resting Hellebuck, resting Matthews, resting both Kachucks, I think they rested someone else as well, but they were resting a lot of their guys knowing that they had the big championship game against Canada in America this time at TD Garden, because now we get to our main event. Once again, like we predicted, Canada gets their opportunity for revenge against the United States in their barn, in the United States, Boston TD Garden. Right off the bat, Nathan MacKinnon, 6 minutes in, he's dangling, he's moving, he's wheeling. He throws the puck on net with a beautiful shot. Hellebuck screen, doesn't know where it went. Bang, 1-0 Canada. Later in the period, sloppy play in front of our net leads to a Brady Tkachuk goal, and U.S. ties it. In the second period, same kind of shit. Canada was on their heels. Matthews takes the puck, gets it towards the net. A little puck just flying everywhere. Jake Sanderson comes in from the point and buries it, makes it 2-1 U.S. But late in the second, we needed a goal to tie it. Let the third period be even at 2-2. Mitch Marner with some magic, setting up Sam Bennett and tying the game up at 2 apiece going into the third period, which honestly would have been anybody's game. Binnington was making incredible saves up until that point. Hellebuck the same. And then third period, close action. Very, very tight play. Like, nobody was trying to risk anything. The safe plays were being made. Nobody was doing anything, like, out of the ordinary. And, of course...
Nobody was trying to make a mistake. Nobody was trying to be that person.
And, of course, this game had to go to overtime. It just had to go to overtime. Yeah. And in that overtime, the U.S. were dominating. I cannot lie. The U.S. were dominating that overtime for a majority of that time. We were getting nervous. Watching. But another play, McCarr dumps it in, rings it around the boards. Marner kicks it up to his feet, from his feet to his stick. He finds McDavid. Austin Matthews, unbelievable, was marking McDavid. He lost McDavid in the hash marks right in front of the net. Marner finds a wide open McDavid, and 10 times out of 10 he's probably going to score. And in fact he did, scoring the golden goal all these years later from Sidney Crosby's in 2010. And in 2025 McDavid gets his golden goal, and Canada, like we predicted, wins the Four Nations face-off. It is still our sport, and you cannot take that away from us at all.
Yeah, Canadians. Yeah, wow. What a tournament it was. Honestly, I think every hockey fan can agree that this is way better than stupid All-Star competition in the All-Star game and All-Star week and weekend. Like, my God. But for real, like, it was tremendous. Every game there was hype to it. Every game there was like, there was fierce. It was hits, bro. Guys were like fighting for the badge. Guys were playing for the badge. You know what, bro? Like, this was absolutely tremendous. I absolutely love this. Benner had such a shaky first part of the tourney. Even like in the finals, he wasn't that great up until the second half of the game. He stole the show. Absolutely, W. Benner, winner. Absolutely stole the show. Made absolutely tremendous saves for us. Guys came in clutch. Marner, I can't believe I'm saying this, bro, but Marner actually came up clutch in a big game in TD Garden. Wow, I was absolutely outstanding by the way he was playing in game 7.
It was like a game 7. It was like a game 7. All the players were saying it was like a game 7.
Right? And like, bro, Team Canada, like, these guys, like, we predicted they were gonna win, right? But like after the first game against the US, I was like, oof, like, the USA outplayed us. And that was mostly because of John Cooper. I think John Cooper was rolling with like the Tampa line like all the third period, right, in the first game against the US, and I was like, bro, here we go, man. Like, what is he doing? But then I think he finally realized that, like, you know what, he actually has star-studded players on the team other than Tampa Bay players, on the roster. So he kind of used them as much as possible. And you know what, bro? They got it done. They showed the US that, hey, bro, like, this is still our sport. You can't take this away from us. And yeah, bro, like, McKinnon MVP of the tourney. Not really a shock to anyone. Best on
I
best.
was a little shocked. I thought they would give it to Sid because he did have such a great tournament. But McKinnon was scoring big goals. He scored 4, I think, in the tournament. He had 4 goals, so he was the top scorer.
Every
But
yeah.
yeah, McKinnon won
Yeah.
MVP. Solid.
Yeah. No, McKinnon MVP. Thomas Harley, who came in for who did he come in for again?
McCarr didn't play the game that game on Saturday against the US.
Morrissey.
But Morrissey didn't play yet in the final.
Oh yeah. Harley did tremendous coming in and stepping in. Great defensively, and he put up a couple points too. I think he put up 2 points. Yeah, bro, this team played as a team, you know. I love how there was no there was no egos in the way. Like they all knew what they had to do and just win for Canada. You know, and I absolutely love that about the squad. I love cheering for Brad Marchand. That was absolutely sensational. That was really fun. And I love cheering for the big guys, right? Like the guys, like McKinnon, McDavid. Like whoa,
it's crazy.
This is absolutely awesome, But yeah, like it brought a smile to my face. I saw Marner do well. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this could happen. But like, wow. I absolutely love this tournament, And you know what? Good. I'm going to shout out Drew Doughty because for pretty much this whole season he hasn't played. He stepped in and he freaking won a Four Nations gold medal. Congratulations to Drew Doughty because he's been through a lot in 2024, breaking, I think, both ankles. And you know what? He came back, he got the starting spot, and he freaking played his heart out for Team Canada.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what? Good job, man. That's tremendous work. That's absolutely tremendous work.
So it was fantastic to see Canada win again. Love seeing all the big guys playing with each other. I mean, I don't think a single Canadian player had a bad tournament. I think there was no player that was like hidden. Like everybody was working. Jarvis, like guys like we're talking about like Jarvis, Hagel, Cirelli. Like those guys weren't really being talked about enough. They were doing a really good job. Our defense was really good, and I was impressed with Sanheim, Pareko as well. Like a lot of questions surrounding our defense, but Canada managed to hold it down pretty decently in the tournament. There were a lot of frauds on Team USA that I want to talk about. Let's start off with the major one, and I want to go into this guy, Jack Hughes. Oh my goodness, invisible! He was the invisible man all tournament. I think he got 2 assists, maybe 1 assist, but he was invisible all tournament. Nobody knew he was playing. I didn't even realize he was on the team. He was trash.
Yeah, he was absolutely trash. He looked really small compared to all the other guys. I don't know why. Like, I was like, oh my god, is he really that small? But I mean, he was invisible. I mean, Kyle Connor, buddy.
That's my next guy. We got to talk about that. In the final game of the tournament, he was a healthy scratch for Chris Kreider. You're telling me one of the leading goal scorers in the league. You're telling me he's third in the league in league scoring, and he's sitting out for Chris Kreider? You got to be joking.
Yeah.
So he was on the fraud watch list for sure.
Wait. Well, what team does Kyle Connor play for?
Oh, the team that's on our front line is the Winnipeg Jets. Would you look at that?
Right.
Would you look at that? No Winnipeg Jets players were playing in this in the final, so that's pretty interesting. Who else? Matthews. I got to give Matthews credit. He did play a solid tournament. He was nothing special, but he did solid. He didn't score, but he got like 4 assists, 5 assists, something like that.
He's playing good defense.
But I want to. Yeah, the offense wasn't there, but the defense was there. He was pickpocketing a lot of players. He was getting pucks back. He was back checking. But there's one thing we need to discuss with Austin Matthews, and that is the fact that this game has now marked his record in series clinching / game gold medal games. He's 0-7 in those scenarios. He has not won a clinching game when it's come to the final stretch. It's happened with Boston, it's happened with the Canadians, it's happened with Tampa, and now it has happened in the Four Nations. Does that concern you, Justin, as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, that your number one guy is not able to essentially win the big games? I mean, Marner was able to produce a couple points, a couple assists, but Matthews, man, just couldn't get it done in overtime and against the US or the Canadians.
First of all, Canada's team was better. Okay, and 2, okay, bro. Even if Team USA won, then you would have had the same conversation for Marner, right? So either way, it's a lose-lose. Marner won, conversation for Matthews. If Matthews won, conversation for Marner, right? So it's kind of like, whatever. This game has nothing to represent the actual NHL season, right? Like guys were playing for their actual country. So I'm not going to look into that statistic, right? This has nothing to do with playoffs and NHL season. So I don't care about that stat.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I want to say one thing about this tournament. I think the NHL should do more of these. This was incredible. It was, I mean, the viewership was insane. It was like 7 million Canadians watching the final. But like all tournament, the viewership was going crazy, and it's gotten people like Flight Reacts to react to hockey. Like people, a
Yeah.
lot of Americans
Like what?
were so invested in this tournament, seeing because it's for your country. They were so invested in seeing this tournament that now
Yeah.
we're starting to see a lot more hockey fans. This was a fantastic way of growing the game, and even people like who was saying it? Was it Shaq or Charles Barkley on TNT? Or it was Draymond Green. Draymond Green said something about how good this is that the NHL is doing something like this. This could lead to like other leagues like the NBA or MLB following suit. Maybe imagine a best on best with baseball. Can you imagine like U.S., Japan, and like
They,
South America,
bro, they,
Oh my goodness, man! Like that would go nuts.
bro, they
Same thing with the NBA
do that
too.
World Baseball Classic. They do that
Yeah,
every like 2-3 years. Yeah, it's like Japan go up against Venezuela, Dominican Republic, USA.
but now
They're actually gonna have it next year.
we could
They're
start
gonna have it next year.
we could start seeing that with the NBA too. I mean, like man, it looks really sick. Gary Bettman did announce that like 2025 we will see. I think is it the Olympics next year or 2 years from now?
I see that this is where I think 2026 will be the Olympics. He
2025
said
is the
they're
World
gonna
Cup of
go.
Hockey, right? World Cup of Hockey, or is that 2028?
Oh, so no, that's 2028. What I think they should do is 2026 Olympics, 2027 Four Nations again, and then 2028 World Cup. Because first of all, next year, like an all-star break, like there's no point. Like you got to give the guys rest also when they go to the Olympics, right? So I think the all-star break should just be a week for that they could kind of just rest, before they go to the Olympics. And then you could bring back your Four Nations thing in 2027, before your World Cup of Hockey in 2028.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think they should do. Because if they bring it back in 2027, that'll already be now 2 years since now that Four Nations, was put in place, right? So I think, 2027 should be the next Four Nations thing. I don't think a Four Nations thing should be happening next year when the Olympics are on. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Another thing, I loved how the NBA All Star Weekend was on the same like week that this Four Nations thing was on because, bro, nobody was talking about that NBA All Star Weekend. Like literally no one, and everybody was talking about the Four Nations thing. I absolutely love that because people are now realizing that hockey is just the more better sport, and
Love the grammar.
like it's just W grammar, and like it's just more better, right? And it's like, bro, like we've been saying for years, bro. Like hockey is like the superior sport to basketball. Like I understand basketball has more viewership and stuff, but bro, just like with like the entertainment, part and like the action pack, like in a freaking hockey game, like bro, it doesn't compare to the NBA, bro. You got NBA players calling for fouls every 5 seconds, bro. Bro, guys will be getting hit in a corner, okay, on the fucking ice rink, and they will continue playing for the whole like another 20-30 minutes, bro. No, like bro.
Yeah,
So I absolutely love how people.
it's insane how what the NH like what hockey players go through in a game. Like there was a funny
Yep.
clip there's a funny clip of Brady Kachuk smoking Drew Doughty in the Canada US game, and someone tweeted that
Yeah.
that clip alone has put Embiid out for another month and a half with injury.
Yeah.
So like, it's insane. Yeah, I agree. Hockey is the superior sport in my opinion. I don't care how much viewership basketball has across the world. Hockey clearly has brought it's brought a lot new eyes to the sport, and this Four Nations face-off has exceeded everybody's expectations, and will definitely bring more people, non-hockey fans, to come into the hockey world and watch the sport that we love and pick a team and just it's fun. Like that tournament was like a playoff, like a mid-season playoff series between the Four Nations. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. The atmosphere at the Bell Center to then going into the TD Garden, unbelievable. The aura was unmatched throughout the whole tournament with all the teams, with every player, every star player playing. As cringe as that sounds, it was just unbelievable. And yeah, I hope the NHL continues to do that, and it makes everyone more excited to see what's going to happen in the Olympics, what's going to happen in the World Cup of Hockey between some of the best players in the National Hockey League. We're going to see guys like Draisaitl come back, guys like Pasternak. We're going to see some players from Russia. Like, there's so many other like players from different countries that didn't even get an opportunity to represent in the Four Nations, and we still got a good tournament. So just imagine when all the best players in the world come together and compete for that World Cup of Hockey or the Olympics. Enough said about that. Let's move on to, I'd say, let's talk about this guy, Alexander Ovechkin. Unbelievable season he's having. Last year, he had a terrible start. He had 10 goals in like 40 something games, and then he gets hot. He starts to heat up. He gets, I think he finishes with 25 or close to 30 goals. This year,
but it wasn't good for standards. It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
Nobody
good.
will tell you.
It wasn't good for Ovi standards. Now, heading into his 21st or 20th season with the Capitals, going to be 39 or 38. He is now reached the 30 goal mark and has exceeded the 30 goal mark. He's at 31 goals this year in around 40 something games, because he was injured. Let's not forget, he was injured. He broke his like leg or something. He had like a leg issue where he was out for a good while. Comes back and is now only 12 goals away from Wayne Gretzky's record with around 20 to 25 games left in the season. Alex Ovechkin has the opportunity to do it this year. The Capitals are first in the NHL. They're first in the NHL, if not set 1 point behind Winnipeg. They're the top team in the East by a mile, 11 points ahead of the next closest team, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs, for the Eastern Conference title. Looks like they're going to be the Eastern Conference champions. Wow, what a season for the Capitals, and what a season for Ovechkin. What are your thoughts? Does he break it this year?
Yeah.
He's 12 goals away. How many more games are left? There's around 20 to 25 games, I believe.
They have 24 games left.
There you go.
So he can 24 games.
So he can get 12 goals. 12 basically. Yeah. Like, okay. You think he can do it?
Goal every other game.
Yeah. Do you think so?
I don't see why not.
He had a hat trick the other night. He had a hat trick against the Oilers.
I don't see why he can't. Get this. Like, he's been on an absolute tear. I absolutely love this, and I absolutely love how the Capitals knew this was happening. And, like, they knew that he was close, so they just got him with playmakers. And they're absolutely just feeding him every time. Like, last year, like, nothing was happening. But, bro, this year, like, Dubois is pitching in. Protas is pitching in. McMichael's doing his thing. Strom's doing his thing. And, like, bro, like, and now they actually have, like, other scoring threats that other teams have to focus on. So they're kind of just still leaving Ovi open. And, like, which is great for him because, like, he could just continue to score. And, like, that is absolutely tremendous to see as a fan. Because, like, bro, this is history. Oh my goodness, bro, we've never seen this in our entire life, and we're actually so close to seeing this. And it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. And oh my goodness, bro, like, Obi, I hope he does this. Like, congrats to him. And I hope they do it this year, so he does this and they win the Eastern Conference Championship. Because that would just be sensational. Like, imagine if they do it imagine if he does it like the final game of the season. It's like, oh my goodness, So yeah, like. Absolutely outstanding. They did lose yesterday, but I mean, they're bound to lose.
Well, he could also do it. He could also do those goals like in the Gretzky's record. Do they count in playoffs also?
Oh, you don't know
because he'll have an opportunity in the playoffs. So we'll give a shout out to Ovi.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Now they are first in the Eastern Conference. Is it a fluke or are they legit? Are they a team that could win the Stanley Cup this year? What are we thinking?
Yeah, 100%. And this is extremely different from last year's Rangers team, how we thought they were going to win the Cup because they were great in the regular season. I was thinking about this yesterday. This Capitals team is absolutely dangerous, and for one reason only. Bro, well, other than the Rangers team last year. Bro, their scoring depth on defense is absolutely absurd. Chychrun almost has 20 goals this season, along with John Carlson, who can also score goals. I think they're like first in the whole league with goals scored by defensemen. And bro, the fact that their forward core is still scoring a shit ton of goals along with their defensive core is what's making them so dangerous. And I know like this whole like President's Trophy curse, but bro, I'm telling you right now, if this continues, there's nobody stopping this Capitals team. Like, because bro, if you can stop that offense, fine. But bro, the defense, they're pure snipers. Like, oh my goodness, bro, Chikrin is scoring at like every other game. Joe Carlson can still score. Like, what is happening,
And
bro?
don't
You
forget
know,
the goaltending too, eh? Logan Thompson has been great.
bro. Lingard can also, step up and win a couple games, bro. This Capitals team is better than last year's Rangers team, who we thought were absolutely tremendous. This Capitals team is on like, wow, like there's really no weak points, and like they have depth scoring. They have too many shooters. Like if you leave one open, they're gonna score on you. And like, bro, this
Like
Capitals team,
I'm looking at this.
they can make.
I'm looking at the standings right now. Like I don't see who they lose. Like I feel like they take out Carolina and New Jersey in their division. I feel like they take out Detroit and Columbus and Ottawa and the Rangers. Like I don't see the. I could see them beating Tampa. A tough match. I see them beating the Leafs. And Florida. Florida might be their toughest contest if that is the Eastern Conference Final. But still, like the Capitals, like are
Make the
dangerous.
final.
They're dangerous. They look like such a good team. But we've seen it before. We've seen it like I don't know how many times with teams that win the President's Trophy and or the conference. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but like you said, this Capitals team feels different. They don't like I feel like they're flying under a lot of like people's like predictions for cup winners just because like the big jump from barely scraping in last year to taking over the league. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are probably having them under the radar for like cup champions as teams like the Oilers
Uh,
and the Panthers are always like top favorites. The Avalanche, Golden Knights, but this Capitals team is
they
dangerous. It's a
they
dangerous
have
team,
everything.
and it's not even
Yeah.
trade deadline yet. So whatever issues they have, which I don't see many issues. Maybe yesterday bottom six scoring. They did lose to Calgary, but maybe if you could find a better backup option than Lindgren, you could address that. The forward scoring is consistent. Like Protus is playing good, Strome is playing good, Dubois is having a decent season. I like to see more from Mangiapane, but obviously Ovi's having a good year. Just the depth scoring, maybe on like the bottom six of the team, maybe get a good bottom six forward. But honestly, they don't really need much fixing. And the thing is, they were supposed to be a team that goes into a rebuild after losing in the first round badly. They've got guys like Ryan Leonard, like they've got the prospect like Ryan Leonard. They've got a lot of good prospects coming up their roster, and the fact that they just went from a potential rebuild to a contender in like less than a year.
Literally one off.
One off season, they became a contender, and we predicted that they would be they would be good in our off season predictions with the amount of players they added. So who knows what we could see from the future? But right now, the Capitals are a threat, and look out for them in the playoffs because if you play them first round, it's not going to be fucking easy, and if you play them in the later rounds, it's also not going to be fucking easy because Ovi in one of his potential final years is looking to break Gretzky's record and get maybe one last cup run out of him and the team. So
Another thing they have a number one D man in John Carlson, and even when he's not there, they
Jacob
have
Chikrin.
another absolute D man in Jacob Chikrin who can actually score goals and run a power play. Oh my goodness! Imagine having two guys that can run a power play. You have two D men. We don't even have one. They have two.
We'll talk about that
Oh my-
because he's starting to come back. 8 points in how many games? But
Okay, bud.
but we'll see.
But like not. Absolutely tremendous, bro. Caps.
Next team I want to talk about are the Edmonton Oilers. 4-game losing streak. Oh my goodness, man, what's going on with the Oilers? They come back from their little trip for little Four Nations Saturday. Who they play? Who they lose to? Who they lose to Saturday? I forget.
The Flyers.
They lost to the Flyers in Philly, 6-3.
Yep.
The next night against the Capitals, they lost 7-3. Holy.
Yeah.
And then the other night, 4-1 against Tampa Bay. They have allowed 20 goals. Oh, no, wait. Am I tripping? No. 17.
What'd you say?
17, they allowed 17 goals in 3 games.
4? Yeah.
Ooh, 17 goals in 3 games. Not good from a Stuart Skinner perspective. They did say today I was at the gym and I saw on the TV that they were saying the Oilers are not going to address goalies at the deadline, which has been a problem for years. I guess they really think if they get in with Stuart Skinner, they're going to go to the Cup final like last year. But these past 3 games have not been a good sign for Edmonton fans. I get it, 3 games in 4 nights is difficult, but you cannot you cannot be allowing 17 goals in in 3 games. That is absurd. Like you lose to Philly 6-3, a game you should win because the Flyers are not that great and falling out of that wild
Yeah.
card race. You go into Washington after they also just won 8-3 against Pittsburgh the night before, and they come and score another 7 goals on you guys. It's like, oh my goodness, man. And then last night to Tampa Bay as well. They lost 4-1. Tampa's on a heater, 6-game win streak. But
Yeah.
man, the Pacific Division is tightening up as the LA Kings are winning games. Both Vegas and Edmonton are losing. That race for that first division spot is getting closer, and I can see the Kings potentially winning that division. What is the problem with Edmonton, and do you see them? Where do you see them finishing in the year?
Uh, See, I absolutely love this. I hope the Oilers don't win a single thing in their history. And by the way, this whole narrative of them having 3 games in 4 nights, well, that's no excuse because the Leafs have had 3 games in 4 nights and they won every single game. So, and they had more players in the Four Nations. So, I don't want to hear none of this all fatigue, all 3 games in 4 nights, bro. Come on, bro. You had Draisaitl sitting at home for 2 weeks. He was fine. Bouchard did it.
Yeah,
for 2
Bouchard.
weeks.
Actually, I was gonna say Draisaitl was fine because he scored in all 3 games. He's now at 43 goals.
Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, they were all good, rested up for 2 weeks. Skinner. So I think an issue. I mean, bro, the depth scoring is, I think, a severe issue. I mean, if it's not Draisaitl, then I don't know who is scoring. I'm gonna be completely honest. Mixell. He's a -12 in the past 3 games. I don't know what has happened. It could be tiredness from. I don't know.
It's got to be being tied from Four Nations, man. Like I know Matthews hasn't been very visible in these past 3 games also.
Yeah, so I can see okay, I can 100% see fatigue being the kicker for this. Skinner, I mean, my goodness gracious, bro, you're giving up 6 goals to the Flyers, oh my god, bro, it's the Flyers, and this has been a Skinner issue for 2-3 years now, and I don't know why they just refuse to do something about this. Pickard is not great either, but bro, you could clearly see you have two shitty to mediocre goaltenders, and you just continue to roll with it, bro. What does Draisaitl and McDavid think about this? You gotta ask. You also have to sit down and ask them, bro. What do you think about our goaltending situation? Because remember, these guys are your captain and assistant captain, bro. You actually have to sit down and talk and be okay, look, you guys play with these guys. Give us a perspective as to what you guys think is wrong. And bro, just listen to your players, bro. You guys, you have them for a reason, bro. Playing, producing the product. So, bro, talk to them.
They need a goalie who can consistently play good hockey. They have not had that. Stuart Skinner could either go all the way to the Stanley Cup final or allow 15 goals in 2 games. I don't know what to say. That's nuts. That's crazy. I understand that maybe they don't want to do it because maybe a goalie will get hot in the playoffs. But man, it is so hot cold with Skinner in this net. It's the goaltending has been an issue in Edmonton for so long, and yeah, when you have guys like McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman scoring in the playoffs consistently, yeah, that might get you by and you score more than the other team. But at the end of the day, imagine the Oilers had a star goalie like Shesterkin or Sorokin, they probably would have won a cup by now. Goaltending has been an issue for this squad for years, and they still won't address it.
They should have added Blackwood. They should have been in
there for Blackwood. I'm looking at the division now. Edmonton and Vegas are. Edmonton is at 72 points. Vegas is at 74 points. Los Angeles Kings are at 69 points, with 3 games in hand on both. So the Los Angeles Kings, if they win their next 3 in a row, they could potentially win that division spot. So the Oilers will most likely, if I'm looking at this now, I don't think Calgary or Vancouver catch them. If they're gonna get either Vegas or the Kings for the 4th year in a row. So there is potential of the Los Angeles Kings playing the Edmonton Oilers for the 4th fucking year in a row. Or they play the Golden Knights, who, are looking to get back in the cup race. So it's not easy. So if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm looking to win the division. Actually,
they have
not even, because the Colorado Avalanche will be their opponent as of right now if they win their division, because they'll play wildcard 1 because the Jets are taking the West.
Yeah.
So there's no easy route for Edmonton. They need to pick up their shit. This
is funny.
Their potential matchups could see either Colorado Los Angeles or Vegas. That's insane. That's nuts. And if the Oilers get out bounced in the first round, the talk of McDavid walking is clearly going to pick up like this, and he's going to leave. He's going to leave as Marner's going to leave Toronto, and McDavid's going to come to Toronto.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Because if they lose first round, second round, let alone first round, they don't make it to the Stanley Cup final. There's going to be talks.
Yeah. Nah, bro, these guys are in deep trouble, bro. I'm guaranteeing this right now, but the Oilers are not winning the cup this year. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so unpredictable this year. I thought I had Edmonton at the beginning of the year winning the Stanley Cup, but I don't know now. I really don't. It's like, it's tough.
It's an issue, bro. Depth scoring, goaltending. God, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but no, I just don't see it happening. And honestly, bro, they're not trying to face Vegas. I know that for a fact. They're not trying to see McKinnon in the Avs in the first round. Their best bet is the LA Kings. And I understand the LA Kings have only lost 5 games at home.
Two of them in overtime. 2 of them in overtime too.
Absolutely absurd. But like, bro, their best bet is I guess the Kings. But like, I know they're not trying to face the Kings either. So good luck to these guys. Actually, no good luck to the Oilers, but.
Another team I want to discuss, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
It's a train wreck.
It's a train wreck. As soon as they come back, their first game at home to the Washington Capitals, they lose 8-3. 8-3. They lost 8-3 to the Washington Capitals on home ice. Oh my goodness. Who was in net for that game? I want to look. Blomqvist? Or whatever. No, it was, who was it? Nedeljkovic for a bit? I think Nedeljkovic started the game, got pulled at 5 goals, and then Blomqvist or whatever comes in. Because Jari, their star goalie, is in the AHL. Oh my goodness, man. This is bad. Let's look at the goals. Letang, Crosby, and Danton Heinen. These guys are trash. They got absolutely destroyed by their rival. The following night, at home, against another divisional rival, the Rangers, they lose to them too. They had to get a guy, Ryan Shea, to score both 2 out of their 3 goals. Okay, all right, we're relying on Ryan Shea to score. And then the next game, last night, against another rival in the Philadelphia Flyers, 6-1. 6-1 to the Philadelphia Flyers. That is 8 plus 6, 14, plus 5. 19 goals allowed in 3 games. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. Poor Sidney Crosby, who just signed a 2-year extension with this team, refusing to leave, by the way. Wow. Pittsburgh is trash. Garbage.
Yeah.
That team is garbage. This is their last chance of making playoffs, and they're throwing it down the fucking drain. How do we feel about this Pittsburgh team right now, Justin? Because I'll tell you, we got to talk about Erik Karlsson and what Dubas said.
Yeah. This is actually really funny. This is funny. Kind of sad on Crosby's part. I kind of feel for the guy, but I mean, there's really not much to say. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on the shitty Penguins. Like, we just know that it's just flat out trash, right? Defense. I saw the stat, like, apparently Ryan Graves has played like 40 games and he has like no points and is like a minus 11. How is that even possible? Like, you played 40 games.
I'm gonna fact check that. Oh my god, you tell me he has no points,
bro? I think so.
Let me look. But continue.
Yeah, bro. Like, this is absolutely absurd. Like, I honestly can't believe this. Like, I don't get how a team with those guys can be just so garbage.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
He has 0 points. He has 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, and is a minus 11 in 42 games played.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, that is
not even a secondary assist on like a Crosby tip-in or something. Are you joking? He's got no points. He's got 0 points, and that is probably their second pairing defenseman. Oh my god. And recently, there were reports on Twitter, if you can trust it, of Dubas saying he's willing to do anything to trade Erik Karlsson. were those his words? I'm trying to remember what he said, but Erik Karlsson is available for trade. Okay,
Yeah.
this has not worked out for Pittsburgh with this blockbuster deal 2 years ago. Bringing in the guy who won the Norris Trophy with the San Jose Sharks to then now wanting to trade him is absolutely absurd. This team is going into a full rebuild. Evgeny Malkin does not want to leave. I don't know why. So he's bringing down the team because he should have been traded fucking years ago. Crosby should leave, but he's so loyal to his Penguins that he's willing to stay. I think he should go play with McKinnon in the Avalanche or come home to Montreal and play for your childhood team. Those are the only two options. And then if he wants, he can finish his last year in Pittsburgh and sign back there. But man, it's over for Crosby to win a Stanley Cup if he stays in Pittsburgh. Dubas has ruined this team. The team is done. They're surely not going to make playoffs with the amount of people in the race for the last wildcard spots. And the fact that they put so much effort in to get Chris Letang a proper D partner in Erik Karlsson to now wanting to trade him all these years later. It's unbelievable. It's disgraceful. And Mike Sullivan's job is on the line. Poor guy. He just coached USA to a silver medal in the Four Nations. Great coach. Been there for years. And I feel bad for Sidney Crosby because what the fuck? That's literally one of the greatest players of all time. And he's just Dubas just spitting in his face. Like, you know what? Like, this team is trash. Whatever. So be it. We're going into a rebuild. Oh man, it is the dark. And guess what? The dark days haven't even begun in Pittsburgh. Just wait till like 1 or 2 years from now when they're like bottom of the barrel, fighting for that first draft pick. So it's just tough to see, man.
This is bad. It's gonna get even, bro. It's gonna get even worse, bro. When you don't have Crosby, Malkin, Letang, bro. When you got a bunch of whole nobodies,
and you're just losing, and you just get shelled by your div rivals like the Flyers and Caps and Rangers, giving up 5 or more.
Because that's like this. Yo, just wait, bro. It is over. It's so over.
Now, tomorrow they're back at home playing the Flyers again. So,
revenge.
How are you not beating the Flyers with that shitty goaltending in Ursin and Fedotov or whatever? Like, how? That goaltending tandem is trash. You're losing to John Torts and Matvey Michkov. All right, like Matvey Michkov, Kuzmenko special, the Russian Rockets, as we call them. Unbelievable, man. It's just. Anyways, let's move on. The Habs. I want to talk about my team for a little bit. They're looking good in their return. Emil Heinonen comes back to the lineup. Jack Eye before the game against Ottawa calls out Brady Tkachuk to fight beforehand, and then Brady Tkachuk's little scared ass decided not to play in that game at home against the Canadiens. I know he was injured. I'm not going to be like that. He's recovering. They were in a playoff spot. He doesn't need to go. He doesn't need to rush into it. He's fine. Whatever. But the Canadiens come out hot and just pepper the Sens in the first period. Oh my goodness. They were just taking pucks off them. They were just ripping the puck. Gallagher scored. Caulfield scored. The team just is looking really good right now. They beat them 5-2. They're looking good. Slavkovsky's looking good. They're saying he's got to play like Brady Tkachuk in those. On Twitter, a lot of people are saying he's got to play like Brady Tkachuk. He's got a big body. He's got to score. And looks like he's playing like Brady Tkachuk now because he got he fought in that game and he scored a goal. So nice to see Slavkovsky playing good. And then last night, and then on Twitter, I think Habs Fan TV posts like every week. They post all the games that the Habs are playing this week. It's like, what's the record going to be? I said to myself, I'm like, you know what? They got the Hurricanes tonight. They got the San Jose Sharks on Thursday, and they got the Sabres Saturday. You probably lose to the Hurricanes, right? They're a good team. You beat Buffalo and you beat San Jose. They shut out the Carolina Hurricanes last night on home ice. What a shock for me that was, especially because Montembeault didn't play a single game in the Four Nations. He comes back in his first game and shows why he should have started from the beginning, shutting out Mikko Rantanen, shutting out Sebastian Aho, shutting out the entire Carolina Hurricanes roster. 4-0 Suzuki. Unbelievable 3 points last night. He looks great. Laine scoring as well. Slavkovsky scoring as well. 2-0 since their return, and they can put themselves back in the wild card race, especially because they put the Sharks at home on Thursday and they got the Sabres on Saturday. Actually, Sabres back to back because I think on Monday they play the Sabres at home. So they've got they've got 3 games where they should be, putting themselves back in that playoff race. They have to win these games if they want to compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, if they don't win these games or if they lose one, then it's like, bro, like what are y'all doing, bro? Like you just beat the Hurricanes. This is a little stretch here, where teams are, some guys are a little fatigued from Four Nations, bro. Like this is a chance for you guys to capitalize now. So it's a good win yesterday. You guys better not lose tomorrow, bro. Bro, if you guys lose tomorrow somehow, it's kind of just like, bro, like what was the point of beating the Hurricanes for, right? So you have to use his momentum now, right? Get this. This is Marty St. Louis coaching experience, right? This is what he needs to do. Get the guys rolling now. Good win yesterday or a couple days ago. Now it's time to, build the momentum. He needs to be there for the guys, right?
Only a couple points back of a playoff spot, too. So they can fight for that.
Wins. So St. Louis got to do his job here. Tell the guys, like, energize the guys, like, bro, come on. Huge win a couple days ago. So we got to keep it rolling. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Maybe they're maturing. If they win tomorrow in Boston, in Buffalo,
no, they're playing the Sharks tomorrow at home.
No, I meant like if they win tomorrow and then against Buffalo.
Oh yeah, like, and then they host Buffalo the Monday. So the 3 games that they should win. So hopefully they get back into that playoff race. Last but not least, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh my goodness, let's talk about your team, and basically everybody I know's favorite team. 3-0 since Four Nations. 3-0. They come back the following game. Matthews, Nylander, Marner, all back. Saturday Night Hockey Night in Canada against the Carolina Hurricanes. What did you think going into that game? Like it was going to be a tough one. I mean, Hurricanes are a good team, a strong defensive team. What did you think?
They were a good team, but I kind of just got a feeling that the Leafs were going to win today or like on Saturday. I just thought like, you know what? I know the Hurricanes. Plus, I also saw anytime the Leafs are underdogs on sports betting apps, I just know they're going to win. I saw the Leafs at plus 100 at home. I was like, they're for sure not losing. Like, come on, bro. So I saw them as underdog. I was like, I'm taking this all day. And I turned $5 into like $40. So I was like, I bet. So I was like, say less. So I knew they were going to win. I could just tell they were going to win just by looking at that.
And then they go up 4-0 in the first period.
Blazing. Oh, freaking blazing. That was absolutely tremendous.
And it wasn't your core 4 either.
Oh, it was depth scoring. It was freaking depth scoring. Yes. That's exactly what we need. If we want to actually make a run, we need depth scoring. We need goals from everywhere on the offensive core, and that is what we are getting so far, right? And then, I didn't get to watch the full game. I was busy. But yeah, I know they were up 4-0, and then third period hit. I know the Hurricanes scored 3 goals in a span of like 5 minutes, and I was like, here we go, bro. And then I know the Leafs scored 2 more. I think Matthews and somebody else. And I just know that they won 6-3. The scoreline told me that they started off well, had a shitty third period, but they still won. They still managed to win. But I don't know. I don't know if you watched the game. But
I was watching a little bit of it. Because I was also like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was watching most of it. And then I was looking at my TV. It was 4-1. I'm like, okay, 4-1. Then it was 4-2. Okay. Then it was 4-3, and I'm like, okay. With like what? I think 3 minutes left. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. It was. They were catching up, but a couple empty netters. I think it was Marner and Matthews with the empty netters. They sealed the deal. Next night, second half of a back-to-back. I thought they were going to lose this game to Chicago.
Yeah,
I really thought they were going to lose to the Blackhawks, but no. Depth scoring comes out again with Nick Robertson, 2 goals. And not even depth scoring from your defense, because McCabe and Chris Tanev also scored goals. Oh my goodness, explain.
Yeah. You see how much life easier is when you actually have depth scoring and goals from your freaking defensemen. Like Matthews looks tired, and Marner looks tired, and Willie, but you have guys who can actually step up and score and do their job. Oh, this is what we needed, bro. So Leafs look tired, right? Second night of back-to-back, whatever. And, Hawks scored first. I was like, okay, bro, like Teravainen off like a beautiful pass from Bertuzzi. I was like, obviously, right? So it was 1-0, I think, going to second period. And then freaking Domi, right? Absolutely sensational on Sunday. Battling for pucks, shooting, hit the post, hit the crossbar. But he set up Jason, freaking Nick Robertson 2 times.
You wish.
Freaking wish. 2 apples. Nick Robertson, I've said this before, he's a bottom 6 winger, and he's giving me goals in the bottom 6. Great job, Nick. This is absolutely tremendous work. He scored 2 goals, and we got a McCabe goal, former Hawk, by the way, and a Chris Tanev goal. That was absolutely tremendous. We won the game. I think it was like 4-1. No, 4-2. I think it was
5-2.
4-2.
5-2.
5-2. Yeah. So that was absolutely. Oh yeah, Willie. Yeah. Willie got a point on. I think somebody else scored. Yeah. So it was tremendous work. They battled back. Depth scoring again. I was like, oh my gosh, right? So I was hyped. 2 wins in 2 days. You can't complain from a 2-week break. I was like, let's go.
And then last night, when we thought, they were all out of it, they won their 2 games. They go to TD Garden, the worst nightmare for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And in the first period, were they down 3-0? Or was that they went to the second period?
It was bro. It was freaking ridiculous. Like in the first 30 seconds, bro, we're coughing off the puck. The freaking Pastrnak, who's literally having a freaking fast break or whatever. I forget the name. Pretty much a free goal. It's like, bro, 1-0 already. I was like, dude, this team sucks. Like the Bruins are actually trash, and this is happening again. Right? Like, this isn't even postseason, bro. It's happening again. So it was 1-0, right? And then, no, I think it was 1-0 heading into the first, right? And then freaking, again, another stupid pen that we're taking for no reason, okay? Forget, I think it was like delay of game or something. And then, bro, Marchand, like, the puck hits Jake McCabe's face, okay? Like, out of nowhere, because apparently the puck hits his face every game somehow. And then Marchand just, like, pots it in between Stolar's legs. 5-hole, and it was 2-0. I was like, dude, are you serious, bro? Like, what is happening? Right? And then a third goal scored. Again, I'm pretty sure it was on the freaking power play, and it was freaking geeky. I was like, dude, how? Like, it's the freaking Bruins who are trash.
Yeah, they're literally right? They're not even in a playoff spot, man. They're fucking shit.
Bro, it's geeky. It's geeky on the first power play, and we're conceding goals. So I was like, okay. I was like, it's Boston, whatever. It happens. Shitty game. But again, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's Boston, bro, the shitty Bruins team. And then all of a sudden, Jason, oh my God. Nick Robertson, bang! Right? I think it was Dolan with the pass.
Again.
Bang! You see, bottom 6, depth scoring. Bang! Right? So it was 3-1 heading into the third period, right? So I was like, okay, bet. We're only down by 2 goals, right? Marner, what a freaking snipe to start the third period. Bang! 3-2, and I was like, okay, Bruins gonna choke this now. Watch, Bruins gonna choke this now. And then the Leafs scored again, bang, 3-3, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're actually so back, right? So I was like, 3-goal lead erased in the third period. Let's go, it's time for us to get our revenge, and then fucking Pastrnak scores, and I was like, dude, and there was like a good 7 minutes remaining in the game, and I was like, bro, we just did all that hard work just to be down again, right? So I'm like, okay, look. I was like, we're down by 1, 2 minutes to go. So I was like, all right, pull the goalie. Who knows, right? I freaking see Pontus Holmberg on the ice, and I was thinking to myself, why is Pontus Holmberg on the ice? But then I realized I am not the coach, and I was like, and then I freaking see Holmberg score the goal, and I was like, oh my gosh, Berube, you're an absolute genius. I was like, depth scoring again. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, bro, 4-4. I was like, comebacks on again, right? So we go into freaking overtime, and remember, let's not forget, Chris Tanev got injured in the first period because he got hit into the boards, and he left TD Garden with his arm in a sling. So that's not a good sign. He might be injured for God knows how long. I don't know how long. So that is not good.
This man is practically dying for this organization. It's actually insane. The pucks to the face, the shoulder, the arms, the legs. Bro, how is this man not dead?
I don't know. But he's playing for the logo. We love that. Chris Tanev, that's our boy, right? So it's 4-4 going to OT, right? And then back and forth action, right? And the puck gets out of the zone, right? And then I think it was Matthews, right? Just poke checks it, right? And then it was Marner there. I was like, Marner, you got to do it, bro. You just did it last week in the Four Nations. I was like, skate. Mitchie Marner with the slick mitt. And I was like, oh my God, what a comeback. I was like, he just dangled Swayman. I was like, bro, what a freaking comeback. 3-goal lead erased. Marner, tremendous at TD Garden. Defense, stepped up. Morgan Riley, stepped up. Nick Robertson, stepped up. Pontus Holmberg, stepped up.
Everybody on your fraud watch list stood up and played hockey.
Everybody stepped up, played for the logo, actually performed. Stoli with amazing saves, and everybody stepped up when Chris Tanev got injured, and you cannot... that is just absolutely tremendous work. The team played it seemed like they played for him because they know how big of a part he is on that blue line. And the team came back around, came back, scored the goals, absolutely tremendous saves. And I couldn't be more happier. We that was not a good game, but we came back, we showed heart, we showed fight, and we were off to the next game. We scraped out of TD Barton with 2 points, and we are off to, I think, New York.
Friday.
Yes, because there's no Saturday game, so we got Friday in MSG. I'm not really confident about that, but that is okay. Because I'm scared when we go to MSG.
I just got the news. Well, there's news just broke now that Adam Fox will miss time and probably will come back in the last final weeks of the season. So maybe a potential win in MSG.
That's a loss. That is 100% a loss for us because you just know we're going to lose that game. Yeah. No Foxy. That's such a Leaf thing. We're going to go to MSG and just get pumped like 5-1. But then we go to Pittsburgh on Sunday. It's like I think a 1 p.m. start time.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is
in the afternoon.
But yeah, absolutely tremendous 3-0 coming back. It was 2 weeks off with no Leafs hockey. I was like, bro. But we came back 3 wins in a row. We're so pumped. We're currently, I think, first in the Atlantic.
First in the Atlantic Division, up by 1 point with a game in hand on Florida.
Yeah, wins are massive now. Tampa Bay is kind of on our ass too. They're right there behind us, along with the Panthers. So wins are a must right now. And if the playoffs started right now, we would face the Detroit Red Wings, who the Red Wings do kind of scare me, but I do think we would beat them in, I think, 5. Their goaltending is just not good enough. But they do have a lot of attacking threats. Showtime, Patty Kane in the playoffs, that scares me a lot.
That's what I'm thinking. Patrick Kane, Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider. I don't know.
I'm confident we beat the Red Wings. Like we'll go into Detroit and beat them. I'm confident in that.
Fighting words, but yeah.
One team I don't want to see is the New York Rangers. Every other team I will glad to see.
Bro, I hope it's the Rangers.
I will be glad to see.
I hope it's. I hope you play the Rangers or Bruins. Oh my goodness, I would. Oh my goodness, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see who they play. Oh my goodness, I really hope it's the Rangers. Oh my god, I would love.
I hope it better not be, bro.
Just imagine going to MSG in the playoffs like dun dun dun. I'm here in the field, bro. Like that Rangers opening track when they come out on the ice, bro. It's actually intimidating. Oh my goodness. Then you gotta face playoff. You gotta face off against playoff Igor. Oh god. Oh god. Like Matthews is going 0 for 0 all series. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'll give a shout out to the Maple Leafs. As much as I despise this fucking team, they actually did really good coming back off formations. The depth scoring, which is what Justin and I have been discussing for years, is what they've been lacking, has come through. Especially Nick Robertson, who honestly shouldn't even be on the team, or shouldn't have been on the team a couple months ago. Now all of a sudden he's got 3 goals in 2 games, so good for him. The defense is doing really well as well. Goaltending, Stoli and Woll are holding the net down, locking it down. Rumors have been circling around about the Shen brothers, Luke and Braden, trying to play on the same team. And we've heard lots of rumors of Toronto being that destination. So adding another defenseman, another big, strong right shot defenseman with a bottom 6 forward in Braden Shen could honestly put this Leafs team where they want to be heading into the playoffs. And who knows from there what damage they'll do, depending on their opponent, of course, because we know the Toronto Maple Leafs, and really depends on who their opponent is. No matter how good they are, no matter if they're the best, if they go 82-0, it depends on who they play in the first round, because we know history with certain teams, like the Bruins. So, yeah, I'll give props to the Maple Leafs for winning 3 in a row. Friday, Rangers, tough task at hand at MSG, but if they can win that, and then go into Pittsburgh, and then go back home after that. Actually, I think next week, they got a tough road trip ahead of them. They got Vegas, they've got Utah, and they've got Colorado. So they've got a little tough road trip. So if they could take these two Eastern Conference matchups against the Rangers and Penguins, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, good for them. And maybe they'll we'll see what happens. Do you think they'll win the division still, or do you think Florida or Tampa catch them and win it? Like, what do you think?
I think we will win the division. I think as of right now, we looked the better team. Our goaltending has been good. Again, the past 3 games we would get a depth scoring, and that's what we've been asking, right? I'm interested by the deadline acquisitions if we do. I think the Shen brothers makes a lot of sense. Luke Shen's obviously familiar with Toronto. Brady Shen is obviously familiar with Craig Berube when Berube coached him in Seattle, no, in St. Louis. So yeah. Also, British Shen can also play left wing and center. So I mean, if you need to put him on second line left wing, you could do that. Or if you need to put him at a center, a third line center, you could do that too. So he's versatile. He's hungry for another championship. So I don't see why not. And yeah, bring back Luke Chen. He was good for us when he was here. So can't really complain, right? So I will be glad to bring the Shen brothers. There's absolutely no complaints. If they do that, I'm happy. I'm happy.
And
That's all.
I think that'll do it for this episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Leafs Friday, Sunday. We there's really not much to discuss. Next week we'll try and be back for Tuesday, Wednesday, same thing, and go from there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care and peace.